All right, I'm live. Let's get right to it. Now, I'm basically gonna come up with some awesome riff ideas today, Midi riff ideas. So if you use a virtual instrument guitar, this is definitely for you. So I'm gonna start a whole new project here. I use FL Studio, by the way. I already had one going, so let's begin another one. So when this one loads up, I'll show you my process or the instruments that I use, I mean, and the effects, how I get the sound that I want. Okay. All right, got it loaded up. Let's see what we got going on here. So when I'm in here in FL Studio, the first thing I always do is I leave the top one open because that's where I put my drums when I use them. But my channel is really focused on metal riffs, MIDI metal riffs. So I just create those for fun a lot of times. So what I'll do is replace the second one with my virtual instrument, which is the Odin 2. Only because I can't afford Odin 3 yet, but I'll go to Panned Rhythms Expanded. What do I have that on? 2 right here. Come on. And then I'll turn the humanizer up some. I'll explain what all these do probably in another video. I turn the Swift off here because that lets me use all of the key switches. And then it's easier to delete and clone another than it is to load a whole new one because it seems to take longer, or it feels to me like it does. So I load up 2 of the virtual instruments, one on 2, one on 3. And then usually up here I will pan one hard left and one hard right to give it the massive sound that I go for. But while we're just creating the riff idea itself, we'll leave them both alone. So then I'll go over here and I'll load up my Fortin Nameless Suite, which is an amp sim that is inspired by Meshuggah. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but if you're a Meshuggah fan, this one's for you. Well, this is for anybody really, especially beginners. If you're a beginner, stick around, man. I'll teach you a few things. Quick disclaimer though, I'm not an expert in music theory or metal guitar or anything like that. I do, however, love creating music, and I'll teach you everything that I know and everything that I do learn along the way. I'll put it in the simplest possible terms for beginners to understand. No filler, no bullshit, just pure easy learning. All right. All right, back to the screen here. So I've got my Fortin Nameless suite, and my favorite preset to pick down here, come on, from Neural DSP is the Metal 1. It has a very, very decent sound. And I leave everything as it is. It really depends on the project and my needs at the time. But I turn stereo on only until I get the riff created because it plays it out of both my speakers, you know. So, wait, which one was that? 2? Okay. So let's go into piano roll here. And what I'll do next is pick a note that I want to play with, whatever sounds good. Oh yeah, I like that. Let's turn this down just a little bit. I hope y'all can hear this well through my phone speakers. That's good. So we'll go with F minor here. Now, one thing I can teach you, the quickest way to get this metalcore sound, well, in my case, it's early 2000s metalcore. I grew up listening to Disturbed, Seether, 3 Days Grace. Well, they're not really metalcore. Disturbed and other bands like that. You get what I'm saying. But that's the type of stuff that I love. So for the Odin 2, the key switches, or to get the chugs, I mean, these velocities have to be way down here below this first line you see. When they're up any higher than that, it makes it a long note. So like, see, it's dun dun because that one's a chug. All right, so I'll line up a bunch of these. Let's see how they sound. Nice. Okay. So it's definitely got the tone that I'm aiming for. Let's go ahead and throw a little bit of EQ on here. I really should be saving that for later, but I always go to this right here, put this on very steep as it goes. What the fuck? I never, ever, ever. Oh, yeah, okay, I'm tripping. So I'll bring this way down, but then I'll sharpen it like this to take out some of the pick attack. And then this I'll do steep also to take out those really harsh highs, the ones that make it sound too fuzzy. This one, down here on the low end, I'll do this way and just bring this part down some. Oops, sorry. I didn't realize y'all couldn't see that. So I'll bring this down some for the kick. And I'll take out some of this muddy crap here that I really don't like in my music. I mean, I know it's essential for some things, you know, but it's really all based on your preference. So let's make this a little sharper because I only want to take out a tiny bit. Let's see how that sounds. Yeah, to me that sounds a lot tighter already. Okay, so when I'm creating metal riffs, most of the time it's something melodic. Literally all you do is create a melody off the top of your head and then bounce around that melody off of the root note, which will normally be a bunch of chugs. So say if we had something like da 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 da. I know that sounds cheesy, but it would turn out like da 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 da. You'll get it. I'm gonna show you. So let's come up with a melody. I definitely want this to be in the right key. What did I choose? F. I always use the natural minor scale. So in the natural minor scale, I stuttered there, goes whole, half, whole, whole, half, whole, whole. Copy that and bring it up here like this. Because when you're creating metal riffs, if you want it to be more than just the most basic crap that nobody will like, you need to make it dynamic. So there's nothing wrong with using the higher notes to bounce off of. So since my root is F, what was that melody I came up with? Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, see, like that. So now what I'll do is start breaking it up. Off of the root note. Down here. And I'll make that a chug. 2 of them. And then maybe 1 right here. And then 2 again right here. And here at the tail end, until it gets to the next half of it, I'll just put something basic that I think might sound good. Let's see how this sounds. See what? See that? See how fucking easy that is, man? All it takes is a melody and for you to bounce off of the root note in chugs. Easy, right? All right, so I'm gonna set you guys up here for just a second because I'm gonna move that natural minor scale down out of my way to the other end, to the full end of the half. There we go. Now, what I like to do is I'll highlight all that, copy and paste basically, and then I'll start changing things up over here to add some variation. Maybe the melody or where the placement of the long notes are, where the placement of the long notes is, or some shit like that. So let's see, this time, let's bring it down. And then play around with the rhythm a little more. This time, we'll put one chug in between those first two. And more chugs over here. So let's see what I've done. I think that sounds pretty good. Now, it's at 1:30. I didn't really think about the tempo when I started, but let's speed it up to maybe 150. Let's see how that sounds. All right, maybe a little more. 155 should do it. All right, so I really like how that sounds. I didn't mean to do that. Let's see how I can do this without. I'm trying to hold this and copy and paste these notes without letting you keeping you guys from seeing what I'm doing. So I'll copy. Yeah, I'll copy all of the long notes up here, paste them over, drag them back, put them over the originals, and then put them up an octave by click and hold Control, and then press up. So now those long notes will be power chords, and it'll make the sound much thicker. Listen. Now, something to me sounds off about the rhythm over here. So I'm gonna take these parts because that's where it sounds like it's a little off. So I'll bring these two right next to each other instead and do that. Okay. I hate when my fucking shit does that, man. So fucking stupid. Anyway, since I've got all of those copied and pasted over, I'm gonna erase this shit. I'll copy the whole riff, go to my other Odin 2 VST, paste it, and now I will hard pan them both, one left, one right. Oh yeah, I gotta put another Fort Nameless suite on this one. Neural DSP, Metal 1, and let's get that EQ out of the way real quick. No, not that one. Dumbass. God, I hate fucking clicking the wrong thing all the time. Alright, let's bring this down some, make it a little sharper. This, not so much as the other one though. Take out the harsh highs. Only some of the pick attack on this one. Now I have to remember to take this and turn off stereo and put it in mono. Now let's see how this all sounds. Oh, look, little mistake here. Gotta move that. Go back to the first one. All right. Now, let's add some drums to this. I like to use the free Crim drums on Contact. This is how they look. It already has a great even sound from the start. So let's see, what kind of rhythm would this take? Let's try something simple, like a hip hop rhythm. And some cymbals. I gotta highlight those cymbals and bring the velocities down to make them quieter, because I don't like the cymbals real loud. Now let's see how this is turning out. So I had to turn the guitars down just a little bit and the Crim drums up. Now, I also like to go and add some distortion. Where's my fast distortion? To my drums, because I want them to sound a little more fierce. Yeah, there we go. There you go, guys. Really simple, right? Really simple, really easy. All right. I'm not really sure how long these live streams are supposed to last to make any kind of decent impact. Most of the ones that I've seen run for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I can do that, I guess, but I'm just going to keep coming up with riff ideas if I stream for that long. Maybe for a half hour just today, because this is my first live stream on this channel. Y'all didn't see that. Well, yeah, y'all did. I don't know why I'm worried about it. It's good tea. So now see, I'm not really liking how those high notes sound. They sound a little whiny to me. I don't know if that makes sense or not. I'm going to bring the riff down because personally, I like low, mean stuff like doom metal, which I haven't really learned how to make yet. As in love with it as I am. Mick Gordon is a fucking genius. If you don't think so, get off my channel. Or Argent metal. It's also called that. Argent or Argent? Something like that. So let's bring this down. 3 semitones. 1. Come on. 2, 3. Fucking hate that dumbass shit, man. 1, 2, 3. Let's see how that sounds. Yes! Fucking mean! That's what I'm talking about, guys. The payout is always so fucking huge. Alright. It might stay at D sharp, but I'm going to bring it down a little more just to see what I can do here. I'm going to put it on C sharp instead. Yeah, I think D sharp is definitely the better option. It sounds good. So we'll leave it at D sharp. All right, pretty simple. Look, I really hope that this helped you learn something. I'll probably do little small streams like this, maybe twice a day, because the whole point is going to be, metal riff ideas. We will come up with some inspiration together. Sometimes I'll use reference music, like, bands that I love, and I'll copy their riffs and make it my own. And there's nothing wrong with that. Don't let anyone tell you different, because they are a lot of really wise people that I know, especially big industry people or people that have been signed to record labels, all say the same thing. We're just out here stealing riffs. I'm wrong. That's actually a quote from an artist that I've never met. I forgot who it was that said that, but I fully agree because a lot of people need inspiration, and there's nothing wrong with gaining inspiration from someone else's music. It's the whole point of it. Well, it's not the whole point, but I hope you get what I'm saying when I say that. Okay. I can't really think of anything else I can do to this. Well, yes, I can. Let's add a bass guitar and see how that sounds. I'm going to use the Flex plugin because it's one of the best stock plugins on FL Studio. The Flex plugin and Citrus. Let's try something fingered for softer sound. Don't be a pervert just because I said fingered. That's too low. And I'm not trying to play chords. This right here is something that I'll show you how to use later. It's so fucking useful. Alright, so now the bass guitar will match the riffs completely because I like to keep things really simple. There's no, I don't know, to me personally it just sounds a lot better when the bass follows the riff completely. So let me make sure I've got some area cleaned out here for the low end. I'll put this one on 2 because 2 is a gentle slope. And I'll bring this one back up to its normal little spot there. Take this down so we can get some of the bass out of the way. Do the same thing on, what the fuck? Do the same thing here. Over this way. Whoa, okay, I think that might be, yeah, it's these high notes. Let's take out these. All these top ones here that I took out. And I'm going to copy all these high notes. I'm only telling you that because I'm holding my phone in my hand and it takes 2 hands to do some of this. Alright, so copying those. And what I'm going to do is bring them down an octave. See if I can do this and let y'all see it still. Yeah, everything dropped, right? But when you're using the Odin 2 guitar, the lowest note stops right here. So you can't go below 3. Well, that doesn't matter because I'm not using the Odin. This is the bass. But these down here, below 3, even on the stock bass guitars, is too low. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Listen. Sounds like shit. So I'm going to copy these. I'm going to leave those because I feel like that might be just low enough that it will sound fierce and add to the character. But let's copy these and bring those up. So they'll be right in line with the rest of it. And let's see how that sounds. Bring the bass down. Okay, it doesn't sound bad, but I think I'm using the wrong bass guitar for the sound that I want. Let's try a tintated bass dynamic. Let's see. I want to turn off the delay and reverb though. There it is. That's the tone that I'm looking for. Now look. There's nothing wrong with taking the time to find an instrument with the right sound. I know that it seems like tedious work, but if you love music and you want it to sound good, it's worth the effort, okay? Now, let's turn back around here. I've turned that. Yes. I'm gonna turn the bass up a little even. Sounds great. So I accidentally clicked a button. Sorry about that little hiccup there. It took me out of the live stream for some reason. I'm really glad that I didn't lose all the stuff that I just talked about. So let's get right back to it. Sounds good, right? So, guys, I'm pretty happy with what I've got going on here. I may expand on this, but that depends on you guys. If you like what I've got going on, even if you don't, send me a comment in the comment section and tell me what you think, man. Should I expand on this and make it a full instrumental? Do you want to hear a specific style of metal riff or anything like that? I'm down because I think I prefer live streaming rather than just trying to record and edit some bullshit to make it good. This takes a lot less effort and you get no filler. You just get the raw details. So I'm going to go ahead and end right here, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. Subscribe and help me grow so I don't have to go back to my bullshit 9 to 5 and I can make music with you guys forever. All right? Thanks. Later.